Have you ever heard of the haunted Willow Creek Manor? A grand old mansion, it sits in solitude, nestled deep within a dense forest. Its gardens are home to rows of towering willows, their whispering leaves cultivating an eerie atmosphere that intensifies under the cloak of the night. One day, a young man named Vikram decided to visit this manor with his friends. They thought it would be an exciting adventure, a chance to test their mettle against the stories that had long haunted the local folk. As the sun began to set, they set out for the manor. The sight of the mansion was uncanny, like a dark king's castle standing tall amidst the whispering trees. They began their exploration, their hearts pounding, their senses heightened. The manor was silent except for the occasional rustle of leaves, a distant owl's hoot, or the creaking of the old wooden structure. During the first night, they heard an unusual sound echoing from within the manor. They speculated it might be just the wind playing tricks, but a sense of dread was slowly creeping into their hearts. On the second day, they heard a faint crackling sound from a dark corner. They traced the noise, finding an old abandoned part of the manor. The place felt strange, empty, yet filled with an unsettling presence. As darkness fell, they heard a ghostly sound echoing through the manor. Fear gripped them, and they decided to leave, but their exit was blocked. They found themselves lost in the labyrinth of the manor, each turn leading them deeper into its heart. They stumbled upon a room where a dark spirit's voice was heard. They recoiled in fear, but behind them, they heard a thunderous growl. They saw something in the dark that chilled them to the bone. A spirit, in the form of an old woman, appeared before them and laughed as she looked at them. "Welcome, Vikram," she said, her voice strange as if she was on fire. "How do you find your experience so far?" As darkness fell, they approached the manor with a mix of anticipation and fear. It was pitch black when they reached the manor. The silhouette of the once great Willow Creek Manor loomed ominously against the night sky, an eerie monument to a bygone era. Shadows danced across its crumbling facade, as if the manor itself was alive, whispering tales of its haunted past. As they stepped into the manor, a chill ran down their spines. The air was cold, heavy with the scent of damp earth and decay. The silence was deafening, broken only by the distant hooting of an owl, a haunting melody that echoed in the vast emptiness of the manor. Then they heard it, a sound. Faint at first, a mere whisper in the wind, but as they ventured deeper into the manor, the sound grew louder, a bone-chilling wail that seemed to come from the very walls of the manor itself. Their hearts pounded in their chests, their breaths came out in short, shaky gasps. Fear gripped them, but their curiosity propelled them forward. They explored room after room, each one more desolate than the last. The wallpaper was peeling, the floorboards creaked under their weight, and the air was thick with dust. But the sound persisted, a constant reminder of the manor's haunted history. A sudden gust of wind sent a shiver down their spines. They heard a door creak, a soft rustling of leaves, and then silence. They exchanged nervous glances, their fear evident in their wide eyes. But they pressed on, their resolve unwavering. In the dead of night, they stumbled upon a room, its door slightly ajar. As they pushed it open, the sound became deafening, a mournful cry that echoed through the manor. They felt a presence, an energy that filled the room. It was then they realized they were not alone. Fear turned into fascination. They had come seeking adventure, and they found it in the haunted halls of the Willow Creek Manor. They decided to stay to uncover the mysteries that the manor held within its ancient walls. As the sun rose, they realized that the manor was not as empty as it seemed. Their journey was just beginning. The first night was over, but the haunting melody of the manor still echoed in their ears, a chilling reminder of the spine-tingling adventures that awaited them. With the dawn of a new day, they decided to delve deeper into the manor. As the sun rose, the young explorers found themselves drawn into the mysteries of Willow Creek Manor. They discovered an old settlement hidden within the depth of the manor, a forgotten remnant of a time long past. It was a chilling sight, with the eerie silence only interrupted by the occasional skittering sound. The atmosphere was thick with an unknown fear, a sense of dread that seemed to seep from the very walls of the manor. As they ventured further, they heard a ghostly voice echoing through the halls. It was a spine-chilling sound, like a mournful whisper carried on the wind. The voice seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once, enveloping them in a shroud of terror. They tried to dismiss it as the wind playing tricks, but the fear was palpable, a cold hand clutching at their hearts. The voice became louder, more insistent as they moved deeper into the manor. It seemed to be calling to them, drawing them into the bowels of the manor. The fear was overpowering, but their curiosity was stronger. They felt compelled to uncover the truth, to solve the mystery of the ghostly voice. But as the day wore on, their courage began to waver. The eerie sounds, the chilling voice, the oppressive atmosphere, it was all too much. They decided to leave, to escape from the haunting presence that seemed to permeate the manor. They turned to go, their hearts pounding in their chests. But as they turned to leave, they found their way blocked. The exit they had come through was gone, replaced by a solid wall. They were trapped within the manor, with no way out. The chilling realization hit them like a cold wave, their fear turning into absolute terror. What was once an adventure had turned into a nightmare, a chilling tale of the haunted Willow Creek Manor. Trapped inside the manor, they stumbled upon a door to a room filled with an ominous presence. The air was heavy, as if weighed down with centuries of untold stories. As they pushed open the door, they were met with a sight that froze them in their tracks. The ghost of an old woman, her spectral figure shimmering in the darkness. They felt a cold shiver run down their spines, their hearts pounding in their chests. Fear was etched onto their faces. But amidst the terror, they noticed a sadness in her ghostly eyes, a longing for something they couldn't quite comprehend. "Welcome, Vikram," the ghost spoke, her voice echoing throughout the room like a quiet whisper on the wind. "How do you find your visit here?" Vikram and his friends were terrified, but they managed to stammer out a response. We think we took a wrong turn," Vikram admitted, his voice betraying a hint of fear. As they conversed with the spirit in the depth of the darkness, they began to unravel the enigmatic world she inhabited. Gradually, they started to understand her truth, and a saga of unraveling the mysteries of Willow Creek Manor began. They discovered that the manor was once the home of a king whose arrogance knew no bounds. He ruled his people with cruelty, instilling fear in their hearts. But in the end, his people rose against him, freeing themselves from his tyranny. The king, consumed by his insatiable hunger for power, turned the manor into a dwelling for a strange force that rendered his spirit immortal. Vikram and his friends found the courage to confront the spirit, helping it find liberation. They told the spirit that the arrogance of its feelings would free it from its shackles. In the depths of the darkness, they found the courage to free the spirit, bringing peace to the manor. The once haunted corridors were now free of the spectral presence, the eerie silence replaced with a serene calmness. The tale of their encounter spread far and wide, teaching people the true nature of the haunted manor of Willow Creek. Emerging from the manor, they shared their experiences, forever marked by the haunting encounter. They had ventured into the shadows of Willow Creek Manor, driven by curiosity, and emerged with a profound understanding of the dangers of arrogance and the power of compassion. Vikram and his friends learned that arrogance, like that of the once mighty emperor, can lead to a downfall. The emperor's insatiable hunger for power and control had created a hostile environment, not just for his subjects, but also for himself. His arrogance bound him to the manor, transforming it into a haunted abyss. From this, the group learned that arrogance blinds us from seeing the truth and can lead to our own destruction. But it was not just about the perils of arrogance. The group also discovered the importance of compassion. They realized that the entity haunting the manor was a victim of its own actions, trapped in a cycle of torment. It was their compassion that helped them understand the entity's plight and break the cycle, freeing the entity and bringing peace to the manor. Having witnessed the truth of Willow Creek Manor, they decided to share their story. They wanted others to understand the realities hidden behind the manor's haunted facade. They hoped that their tale could educate others about the danger of arrogance and the power of compassion. Their experiences at Willow Creek Manor taught them that every place has a story, and every story carries a lesson. It is up to us to venture into the shadows, seek out these lessons, and share them. And so, the tale of the haunted Willow Creek Manor continues to be told. Would you be brave enough to visit?